We've all started our journey. Not too many people start their journey off where they're born awake. Most people have something they go through in life, they have something happen, they have something occur that makes them wake up and start the process of questioning the world. Why are things done this way? Why do certain people, certain countries not have enough food to live? Why do they have to live in, these conditions? Why this? Why that, right? We start questioning everything. So, you may wake up from an illness, it might be someone dying, it might be just an awakening within yourself. Typically, there's something that kind of happens that kind of snaps you out of the typical existence where you just think this is how life is and you just go with the flow and do what you're told. And so you start questioning, why is there poisons in everything we eat? Why is there poisons in the water? Why are we getting additives put in our water systems? Why is there chemtrails? Why is there vaccinations? Why is everyone on drugs, like pills, for something? You start questioning everything. The list goes on. You start questioning what you're supposed to do in life. And that's the fourth dimension. That's the start of the ascension. That's the awakening, where you go from an unawakened state to, you start realizing the world isn't the way it's supposed to be. Why is the world like this? Who created this world? And you start seeing things from a very polarized state. So things start affecting you because you start going up the spectrum toward the what's good. And so your universe, your soul, your spirit, God will start showing you in your life the opposite. It will start showing, okay, this is what I classify as good. It will start showing you what you also classify as bad, so you can choose. Do you choose good or bad? Do you choose good or bad? But there is actually not really a good or bad. This is just a spectrum of a perspective. And that's the problem. You have to go through this fourth dimensional state to get to the fifth, which is the state of unconditional love at all times, where you start living from a point of oneness, in the middle, in the balanced, neutral state, not on the far end of the spectrum. So the fourth dimension is when you start seeing things as, you start questioning things in your life, and you start questioning governments, you start questioning authority figures, you start questioning systems, political systems, you start questioning medical systems, you start questioning educational systems, you start questioning the way the world is, the media. The media, you start realizing, is pretty much whatever they want to try to create, they will put on the news. So they want to create fear, and they want people in that state at all times, because when people are in a state of fear, they're in control. The list goes on. I'll have plenty of videos about all this stuff, so don't you worry. But just know that when you start entering the fourth dimension, you start questioning everything. And you start seeing things in a very polarized state. This is something I don't want, this is something I do want. So, and that's on purpose. You're supposed to be in that state where you choose in every moment. Do you choose to be in a fear-based state, or do you choose to be in a love-based state? Because that's the two ends of the spectrum. And when you get to the point where you choose love, you choose love, you choose love in every situation. You don't choose to, obviously, depending on the person, it takes sometimes not very long to go through the fourth dimension, which is the dark night of the soul. And for other people, it takes years and years, their whole life. And the problem is people don't get past that point. They're in the very angry state where the world around them is not what they want. And so they get very angry and depressed and all these other fear-based emotions. But when you start realizing that you can get past that, and then you're at the point of where you can create in every moment the life that you want to create and the world that you want to create. And that's the fifth dimension, when you can see things from the whole perspective. When you start getting past that this is good, this is bad, you start seeing how they interlink together. And that's the dimension the world and the reality of Earth that we live in. We live in a reality right now where we're meant to see things as polarized. That's what physical is. So when you start being able to see past the good and bad spectrum, then you get past the point of seeing things separate. They come together. And that's the consciousness level. That's the way that you actually live your life. It's these states of the ascension exist. Like, you will feel them. You will see them for yourself. You will experience them. You will taste them, be them. That will be your reality, because when you change inside, when you start experiencing the fourth dimension, or the fifth dimension, or the sixth dimension, or higher, your whole reality changes, because that's the whole point. You need to experience it for yourself. So don't just listen to me. I will tell you step by step the exact methods and ways to go about doing this. So it will take a couple minutes a day, and you will see results instantly the first day. So it's not one of these exercise programs where you have to do it for a month to see results. It's right away. It takes time to put effort in, because the more attention and energy you put into something, the more of a change you get, and the faster you go through the journey. But the whole point is, it's all a journey, because in every situation that you come across, you learn something. So don't take it as, oh, it's horrible, this is my life's hell right now, dealing with this, blah, 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 why am I here? That's all part of, the journey. But realize you will come out the other end, and you will see exactly why you went through every single thing in your life, because every single thing was something to teach you to choose love. And it sounds ridiculous when you're going through it, when you're in an angry state of mind, when you're in a very agitated state of mind, when you're in that state of the fourth dimension, which is the polarized, emotional state up and down. It's a roller coaster, and it's a roller coaster, and you don't really see where you're going until you come through the other end, through the veil, and you start experiencing now a higher way of living, and it will shift. You will instantly feel, there's something different, and then it will be a more constant thing in your life. But your life will still want to teach you things, because you're holding on to things in the layers of your cells. You're holding on to energy programs that are based on the old way you used to live. So you'll be tested over and over again, even years later. But these are all things to heal. And once you start recognizing this is what you want, you're choosing the polarity of unconditional love in every moment, it gets easier to recognize when something isn't that. When something isn't from the highest dimensions of source. So in the sixth dimension, which is even more amazing, I'm going to be talking all about these different dimensions in many videos to come in more detail about actually ways to experience them. But just start taking note as you go through your day, as you go through your life. I see something interesting there. I see something that doesn't make sense there. I see something, why is this done a certain way? You will start seeing reasons for things. And that's when you start questioning. That's the start of the awakening. So start questioning. Question more and more and more. And don't let that fear come in, because that fear will try to bring you back down to the unawakened state. Or the fear will try to keep you in that fourth dimensional state of angriness, or fear-based state. You need to start recognizing that everything in our life is trying to create fear within us. So notice that too. Notice everything. And when you start noticing things, you start experiencing things. You start the journey. And that journey is magic. And when you get past the sixth dimension, that's when you become even cosmic. You become quantum. You're able to interact with the quantum level of everything. And it goes on and on and on. So we'll talk about all these in detail and exactly the ways that you can experience it yourself. So I want everyone not to take my word for it, but to experience it for yourself. So we'll see you tomorrow. You're worth it. You're worth those couple minutes a day. We'll see you soon.